There are many dimensions to the men wearing the silver and black.
You know, my dad used to always tell me that genius is persistence in disguise. A lot of people think that the genius is the person that creates something in that moment. But we don't see all the times behind closed doors that they fail. It's time and time again, it's like really the persistence is the genius part of that process.
On the field, I see our game day warriors, the authors of our favorite football memories, whose names and numbers we wear on our backs proudly as we jump and scream at the top of our lungs every Sunday. But more often than not, I've learned that there is more that defines these men than just football.
I think my purpose is to make life lighter for a lot of people.
It was a scorching hot day in the middle of May when I arrived to Ameer's home, a day I'll always remember. Immediately, I noticed something distinctive about Ameer, and at first, I couldn't put my finger on it. There was a distinct quality about him, and I wanted to learn more, so I started at the beginning.
Within the city we lived in, Birmingham, pretty much grew up in apartments like our whole life, so it was just very tight-knit, a bit crowded at times, but it was never a dull moment. Especially with me and Ameer. We would play video games all day, go play basketball, go play football. He was always like a step ahead of his friends as far as like what was cool, because I'm 4 years older than Ameer, but we have the same birthday, so he was always like just a step ahead of everyone, athletically and just creatively as well.
I wasn't even going to play organized football. I always just loved to play sandlot football. But because my brother was 4 years older with me, I was always hanging out with him. So I was playing with the older boys a lot. So I got a lot better, a lot faster than my actual peers. And I was killing the guys who were 4 years older than me. We didn't have a lot of money at the time, so you know, playing park league football was kind of expensive. You gotta get your own pass, you gotta do all these things. My brother would beg my dad, like, you gotta let Ameer play. He's good, he's good.
Outside, just in the streets, and I noticed, I'm like, yo, Ameer is really good. He needs to play football. So I told my dad, and my dad, he's kind of like dragging his feet on it. So I went to the Homewood Park where we grew up, and I grabbed the applications, and I was just leaving applications around the house, leaving it on his bed, like, yo, Ameer has to play football. And I pretty much like forced my dad's hand, like, yo, you can't go on unless Ameer plays football.
And my dad was like, okay. And the next day, my brother gave him the sign-up sheet. And from that point on, my dad was at every single game with the camcorder, recording everything, even up to college.
To the 45, Ameer to the 40, Ameer to the 35, 30, 20, 15, 10, 5, touchdown Ameer Abdullah. What an amazing...
Football was Ameer's first love. There's no doubt about it. Through hard work and undeniable talent, he earned the chance to pursue this passion at the highest level, as a running back in the National Football League. But despite Ameer's obvious success as a football player, it struck me as unusual when he confessed to believing he was the black sheep of the family, grinning widely as he proudly mentioned the successes and achievements of his 8 siblings.
I have 6 sisters, 2 brothers, and we're all vastly different. We all kind of have the same cynical humor, but we all are doing different things. My sister Halima, She's a journalist. She was in the White House for 11 years. She's like the lead editor for NBC now. She's wicked smart, but she's really into politics. Then my brother Muhammad, he's an attorney. He lives in Birmingham. He's probably the hardest working individual, I've ever been around. He's an attorney, but he's also a bodybuilder. My sister Rakaya, she's the lead investment consultant for BBVA Bank down in Alabama. My sister Aisha, she's loving her job. My sister Khadija, she's the VP for a company called Shipped. My sister Karima, she actually just had a son, so she's actually on maternity leave at the moment. My sister Medina is a pharmacist. She lives in Atlanta, she's a pharmacist. Then my brother Kareem, he's a music editor, he lives in LA. All the influence that I got from them, as you can hear, all the different things that they do, really gave me probably the most well-rounded perspective to head out into life with, because I saw everything from people who are into politics, people who are into legislature, and then you got people who are into music, like my brother. So I feel like I became really well-rounded growing up in that household. And then there's me.
Raider Nation, man, I'm so excited to be here with you guys in Vegas, man. Can't wait. Go Raiders.
Seattle brings a blitz, fires far pylon. It's caught by Abdullah on the run. Touchdown Raiders. Third down and 16. Abdullah out of the backfield, room to run at the 30, and he stays on his feet to pick up the first down.
I'll come here with the Raiders where I'm in a system where I have a definite role. This is our third down back, and being in year 9 to withstand a lot of the ups and downs, you got to stay consistent with your word. You have to be kind of like steward. You have to be a steward to your craft.
The snap and the toss to the right. Abdullah, all kinds of space. 5, end zone. He was all alone, led his way in there. It's a high end-over-end kick, angling towards the left. QT says get away from it. And the Raiders track it down inside the 5. Ameer Abdullah racing down the field and dove on top of it. And they will mark it out of bounds at the 1.
We're all familiar with the Ameer we see on game days. The leader.
Different tempo this time. Come on, man. Different tempo this time. Come on.
The playmaker.
Shotgun to Carr. Back to pass. Dumps it short. Abdullah at the 30. Cuts upfield. 25-20. Breaks through a tackle. And he's driven to the turf at the 17. And has enough for the first down.
But as our conversation continued and the scorching day turned to a warm evening, I learned of Ameer's growing passion.
Yeah, well, actually, we're here to film. So don't think we're just a bunch of nerds who carry around cameras all the time. All right, headed to the university's facilities to train for the day. It's been a long time since I've seen some of the people up there, so it's gonna be nice returning back to the crib. Today is shoot 1 of a 2-shoot series for the week, and of course we're doing some last minute equipment pickup. I've always been around cameras. Actually, my sister Rakaya got me a camera when I was really young. It was just Sony, pretty simple digital camera at the time. We would take photos of my friends, photos of the house, just for my own I guess memory timestamps at the time. Films in general have always just, to me, been very interesting. I think it's one of the more beautiful forms of art. When that personal identity is compromised, when that rug is pulled from beneath your feet, you have 2 choices. It just became a hobby of mine, something that really allowed me to step away from a more objective field. Football, touchdown's a touchdown. There's no discretion in that. A first down, the yardage and all those things, but when you get behind the camera, what you see may not always hit someone else the same.
What's up? All right, on the count of 3, I'm about to get a big Raiders. 1, 2, 3. That's beautiful. That's beautiful.
Directing really just speaks to me. I think naturally the common denominator that I've identified with all the things that I do in life is being a leader. I feel like as a director, you help other people step into their light.
First camp. How y'all boys feeling? How we feeling? How we feeling?
I feel good. I'm blessed.
Ooh.
The honey and something, but you see.
Hold on, man. Let me see the drip one time. Hey, you made that 3-9 look good.
He was with the Minnesota Vikings, and he needed someone that was going to help him with a series idea that he had. And he was originally just looking to hire a videographer. And I was like, let's do it together. So it was a good learning experience for both of us, and really cemented our bond as far as business partners and friends. I just feel better when I'm working with him, working on things with him, and it allows me to think bigger and more than what I thought was possible. Working with him expands my just what I think expands the boundary of what I think is possible.
I created a short film called Joshua Tree, and it's a psychological thriller about a hypothetical future where only Black people exist. It was an opportunity for me to really share how wild my mind is at times.
Man, if you ask me, the whole system really needs to change, bro. I mean, we live way too linear. I mean, we take, we make it, and we just dispose. Just like that, bro.
Joshua Tree specifically was a metaphor on sometimes when you're stuck into a certain routine or you're stuck into a certain cycle, things can be changing around you. And if you're so busy just working, you won't realize until it's too late, a lot of times. So I think that was the biggest, thing I wanted to drive home, was that a lot of times the very thing that empowers you can also devour you. Joshua Tree was definitely something that for me, I shot, I acted in, I directed and produced it myself, and all in one day. And it wasn't even anything that was really planned. It was just a trip that me and my buddies took for a vacation to Joshua Tree. We just brought all of our camera equipment, and we just like, let's shoot a short film. And it came together pretty well.
Now see, that part I agree with.
I mean, as long as they had that advantage, they stayed in control. Ironically, it was that very understanding that also led to downfall of white people. Control.
I think Ameer is someone who, if he doesn't know anything about something but is interested in it, wants to, get to the top of it, whatever it might be, he becomes consciously successful in it and is very good at doing that. And it's almost like he has a process to be good at whatever he wants to be good at.
Appreciate it, man. Thank you, guys. Nice to meet y'all.
Yes, sir.
Too. That's Big Cam, of course.
We're tired. Stop playing. Come on, stop.
Raiders Cam.
Yes, sir.
We got greatness in the making.
So while you're working on these projects, how do you balance that with your football life?
So it's very easy for me. In the mornings, I got my football stuff, which that's easy. My schedule's made for me. So I know when I need to be where I need to be. I know when I need to train, know how much training I need to do. Then after that, I can make my schedule myself. I think a lot of people don't know the power of making a schedule and really just writing down what I'm going to do every single day. My dad used to always tell me, knowledge belongs to humanity. You can't take it with you when you're dead and gone. It stays here on earth. It doesn't belong to any one person. So why not share as much knowledge and education as you can while you're here?
You have all these pieces of you, the football, the filmmaking, the art. You're a reader too.
Yes.
When
you look at the bigger picture and the big puzzle, who is Ameer?
Delivered in August, yeah? First day of 4 Pats. Don't you want to hear the end? Wait, come on, don't let it surprise you. Don't make it. All right, so we finished with the first shoot.
Boundless is the word I think of. I think we all carry, a duality within ourselves that we have to step into different shades, at different times. I don't think any one thing defines me. I would say I'm a creative, but we all choose to create in different ways. And I think being formless, kind of taking a page out of Bruce Lee's book, being like water, being formless is one of the most beautiful things that you can be as a person.
Ameer isn't just a football player, just a proud brother, or just a filmmaker. He's all of these things, all of the time, at the same time. He's a storyteller that transcends the mediums, challenged to create each and every day, whether that be a beautiful move on the football field, a barrage of words on a piece of paper, or a sequence of images that tell a story. For the last 2 seasons, Ameer has shared his athletic gifts with Raider Nation. Now I'm excited to see his creative gifts blossom.
Raider Nation, we back. Brick by brick. Stay with us.